Let's change gears one more time.
It's Morphin' time!
Because it's time to go to our main topic, which is the original versus sequel debate. Featuring Guardians of the Galaxy, where if you're unfamiliar with our original versus sequel debate, court is officially back in session. We each get 1 minute to present an argument, and then we also get 30 seconds to retort to each other's argument. Of course, we'll have opening and closing statements, and then if I remember, which I probably won't, I'll put a poll out on Twitter, and then you can vote for who won the debate, and then maybe I won't have to read the cast and crews for upcoming exit surveys. But none of that sounds likely here. Nevertheless, let's get to the tail of our tape, our prosecutor and our defense team here. Coming in, weighing in at 220 pounds is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, a 2014 movie that features a group of intergalactic criminals who must pull together to stop a fanatical warrior with plans to purge the universe. I don't know. I would say that's pretty obscure. You know, that's you don't really get a whole lot of details. We don't know a whole lot about the Guardians of the Galaxy to begin with. It's intriguing enough. It's enough to get you into the seat here.
Yep.
And of course, this was written and directed by James Gunn, starring Chris Pratt, Bradley Cooper, Vin Diesel, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, Lee Pace as Ronan, Michael Rooker, Karen Gillan, Djimon Hounsou was Karath. John C. Reilly as Corpseman Day, Glenn Close as Nova Prime, and Benicio del Toro as the Collector.
He's fucking awesome.
This movie hauled in $773 million worldwide, $333 million domestic, including $94 million on its opening weekend. It received 8.0 out of 10 on IMDb and had a solid 92-92 split on Rotten Tomatoes, as well as a 4.6 out of 5 on Google reviews, with 88% of Google users liking this movie. And just a little note here, the MCU Rewatch Vault, this is episode 102 in our archives, and this received a 94-92 split from us with a 93 overall score, which is good for 6th in our CMM MCU rankings.
Yes, sir, indeed. And then we got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 on the opposite side of this, which, of course, came out in 2017. The synopsis for this movie: the Guardians struggled to keep together as a team while dealing with their personal family issues, notably Star-Lord's encounter with his father, the ambitious celestial being Ego. As for the cast and crew, it's pretty much the same as what Wes laid out, written and directed by James Gunn, starring Chris Pratt, Vin Diesel, Bradley Cooper, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, Palm Clementif as Mantis, Michael Rooker, Karen Gillan, Sylvester Stallone as Sakaar Ogord, Kurt Russell, Elizabeth Debicki as Aisha, and then Chris Sullivan as Taserface, and Kraglin was played by Sean Gunn. As for the box office and critics reception, this hauled in 864 million worldwide. That would have been a terrible number. 390 million domestic, including 146.5 million on its opening weekend. Received a 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb, 85-87 split on Rotten Tomatoes, 4.5 out of 5 from Google reviews, with 87% of Google users liking this movie. On that note, too, Wes, we talked about this a while back, maybe in last episode or one before. We thought 90%, right, is where Google users are. So this kind of dispels that. It must be like 85.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's right. Yeah. Anything above an 85, maybe.
Yeah. So
87, 88. Yeah. That's fair.
Now we kind of have an idea. As for the MCU Rewatch Vault 2, Wes mentioned before, 102 was the original Guardians. 129 is when we reviewed Guardians 2. 88-81 split, which gave it a 84.5 score. It makes it 25th in the CMM MCU rankings.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mouthful there. Yeah. How about this for a peace offering before we open up with our opening arguments? Just across the news desk, as a crow flies, as we're recording, Joel Embiid ruled out for Game 1 of the Celtics. That's big news.
That is big news. Important for people to know that. Make sure
he has to learn how to fall.
He apparently does. Yeah, that is. I mean, but
fall hard.
You didn't. We knew he wasn't. They lucked out. They lucked out that he's missing one game, but Everybody seemed to know he wasn't playing because the lines have not moved much.
Oh, that's an interesting way to look at it. See, I thought this was a bit of gamesmanship by Doc Rivers, perhaps. Keep sitting them out and say, yeah, maybe he won't play, maybe he won't. But I like your thinking there.
Oh, yeah. But at least the odds makers didn't think that. I mean, maybe he was trying to go for that with the doubtful and like plant the seed, but
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. It's an LCL. That's rough.
It's tough stuff. Yeah. And James Harden's going to burn out sooner or later. It's just a matter of time.
I mean, like he can't. Like I don't know many single stars that could carry their team against the Celtics. I know like Trae Young went off in a game and whatever, but come on.
I'm with you. I like that. That's top-notch analysis ahead of the game, which you'll listen to after the game, so it'll all be irrelevant by that point.
Yes, but, I mean, this is not the Bruins.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point here. It's optimistic when we're seeing green.
Sorry, Doc.
So I got my my stopwatch up. Got my lunch bag packed, my boots tied tight. I hope I don't get in a fight.
Not too late. You're getting in one.
That's Billy Madison right there for you there. But I got the stopwatch all set. Do you wanna go first with the opening arguments, or would you like me?
No, you go first with the opening arguments, please.
Okay. All right. So you give me a countdown and
yes. So you have a minute with your opening argument. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, people of the jury, women and men and children all over the world, I'd like to welcome you to this debate here because it's going to be a fairly open and book case. Not only is Guardians of the Galaxy the Volume 1 one of the best movies that the MCU has produced, it's far and away better than its predecessor, or its successor, I should say, Volume 2. Which is essentially just a retread of the first one. And then you spend a whole lot of time dealing with some daddy issues that James Gunn's trying to work out vicariously through Ego's Kurt Russell and Chris Pratt's Star-Lord there. So you spend too much time doing that, but what you do spend a lot of time with Volume 1 is the actual Guardians team. They're all together. There's more cohesiveness. You have a better understanding of who these characters are, not further caricatures of themselves. And there's heart, there's humor, and there's great action for it. So I'm going to display all of that in the forthcoming arguments.
All right. Nicely done. Well done, sir. All right. Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, try to use that. Yeah, when we're doing the countdown here, we'll get the law and order done in there.
Good point. Yeah. Good point. Yeah. Okay. That I got to find that. Is that?
Oh yeah. Well, you got some time there. Yeah, you go into the brand. You go all the way down at the bottom, but nevertheless, when you get there, I'm going to start the clock for you when you're ready.
I'm good.
All right. Beautiful. So Nick's opening argument for Guardians Volume 2 starts in 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hope that you can come in today with an open mind. We all know that the original Guardians movie is, of course, revered, highly respected, but it also came in with next to no expectations. I believe my the opponent talked earlier about how DC there's no bar for DC because it's been so all over the place. With Marvel, yes, there are expectations. There have been for quite some time. However, when Guardians got announced, no one had any expectations. Nobody knew anything about the Guardians. It was a whole different team than the original one in the comics. We come into Guardians 2, and now the bar is absolutely sky high. And what happens with this team? We see Rocket get highlighted more heavily. We see Peter go through this weird family experience with his messed up dad, who's a total piece of shit. People can change, but he's not one of them. And they go and deal with expectations and provide laughs, action, and some feel-good family stuff, making this one of the best sequels in the MCU. Nice.
All right, pretty good. We're flying right on time here. Okay. Now we get to the actual debate questions. And question number 1: which movie features the better use of the Guardians as a team? Now, I'd be happy to lead off again if you'd like, or you can go off, whatever you like, Nick.
You can alternate here like we have in the past. I'm good. I needed a second to gather myself before because I was like, oh wait, I didn't jot anything down for the intros. So that was being part of everybody.
Well, a nice little cheat is, the opening argument should just be a summation of your debate questions and what you're going to talk about.
I mean, that's kind of what I did in the end, but it's
like I had an intro paragraph of a 5-paragraph essay.
This is true, but I'd like to think I'm a better writer than 5-paragraph essays now, but that's just me.
That's true. I'm just saying when things get tough, you got to have a framework.
Just remembered about how what was that poem you used to do in the Standard Times? Like, was was it a Christmas one that you?
Yeah, it was supposed to be the night before Christmas.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what it
Mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
that's right.
That's nice. My family would read that every Christmas Christmas Day. We'd
That's
get the
awesome.
paper and read it. It would be nice. It's a nice
That's
little moment.
awesome. That's special.
Yeah, it's
Family
good.
stuff. Family. Hey, I got family stuff for you guys today. Start the clock.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Okay, so which movie features the better use of Guardians as a team? 60 seconds on the clock for Nick. Starts 3, 2, 1, go.
So we got Rocket, who gets highlighted way more heavily than he did in the previous run. We get development with Yondu, who is officially welcomed in to the Guardians by the end of this movie, but also was like the only person that's an actual Guardian in the comics of the original team. We got Drax, who's elevated immensely too. Gamora is pretty much her same badass self, and I feel like Quill, we get development with him, but at the same time, he's still the same person in a lot of ways. We get a cute Groot, who I will hit on a little bit more later on. But all of these characters get highlighted a little bit more, get better jokes.
35 seconds.
Rocket goes from being this kind of like wild card, kooky character to and a bit angry, and we see him go through immense development alongside Yondu in
15.
such a way that I never thought I would be. It's one of the reasons why I love Rocket so much is how sensitive we see
10.
he actually is. Drax becomes much more funny as well. But all these characters have their own moments and are able to blossom far more than they did in the first movie.
Oh, I hit the wrong one.
Oh, no. This whole court's out of order. All right.
The whole court. It's a kangaroo court, I say.
That's what it is. All right. 30 seconds on the clock for you, sir. As
Yes.
rebuttal. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, my big issue with Volume 2, as I mentioned in the opening statement, is that they spend so much time apart. They make it a point to split up halfway through the movie. Aside from the team being rife with conflict to start, particularly between Rocket and Star-Lord, but also between Mantis and Drax. There's not a whole lot of getting along there. So I'd rather see my team working together, or actually working in spite of each other, all in one situation.
Boom.
Mm-hmm. Nice, lovely. Hit me on the. I'm rolling. I'm ready.
All right,
to go.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah. So as a team, Guardians Volume 1, it has to be Volume 1. If we're talking about who is the better use of the team, aside from seeing the formation of the team, which is the whole point of the movie, is them coming together. They spend the majority of the film working together as a team, or as I just mentioned, for better or for worse. Whether it's breaking out of prison or working against each other to steal the orb in Xandar, you're seeing all of them utilize their skills together on screen as a 5-some, as a 6-some, right? As they expand into Volume 2, you don't get as much of that cohesion as a team working moments there. You spend a little bit of time with Mantis. You spend a little bit of time with Rocket. You spend a little bit of time, too much time, with Chris Pratt, Star-Lord's character. And then you have Nebula kind of working with her family drama in there. They're all kind of busy with their own shit. But the Guardians Volume 1 is about them as a team.
Oop, didn't mean to do it twice. Okay, all right, go ahead and roll that.
All right, so next, 30 seconds on the clock to retort in 3, 2, 1, go.
So this is about them better use as a team, and I know I highlighted them about being in Guardians 2, all getting highlighted far more, but we start off the movie with them working as a team, and then later on in the movie, they are working very much as a team, and obviously there's a lot going on in between.
15.
Wes said it himself, like they're going against each other in the first movie. Like there's a whole issue. There's no trust and everything like that. They're not even a team for half of the movie.
5.
So better use of a team. My team may get separated, but in the end, they're always a team. They're family. That was a little sneaky. That one in there. All right. So you will lead us off with our next question, which is, which movie does a better job of showcasing a specific member of the Guardians better than the other one?
Yeah, so a little clarification here. So if there's, I may choose in my argument to do Star-Lord, then Nick will defend why Star-Lord is better in his movie than my movie. But when it's Nick's turn to present his argument, he may do Groot, and then I will have to respond to Groot here. So we're kind of responding on the fly here. That'll be nice. So
yeah, I think it's one of two people for you, because you're going first here. It's one of two people.
You could probably guess. I feel like it's okay. I feel like it's obvious.
Okay. Well, since you're going first, may I guess? And it's not going to change my prep time.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'll never change your mind anyway.
This is very true. So I knew right away it wasn't Gamora. Then you brought up Groot. No way it's Groot, and I don't think it's Drax. To me, it's either Rocket or it's Peter Quill, and I got to go with Star-Lord here.
Oh no, then you'll be surprised. I thought it was obvious. I guess not. Then this will be fun.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, it's Groot. It's Groot is the best use of it because Groot is not even a factor in Volume 2, and he's an unstoppable force in Volume 1. The team would not be able to get anything done without him there. He's the ultimate tank of any team would need, whether he's intimidating inmates to taking on heavy fire to sacrificing himself at the end, and allowing all of that to happen. So in Volume 2, he's just a baby. And while he provides some comedic relief in that role, he's more of a liability to a team than actually a member of it. And again, the ultimate tank. I mean, there is no better intimidating scene than taking your branches for fingers and sticking them up some guy's nose and through them. That sends a message early on. And then again, he's taking on all that heavy fire from the drones like it's nothing. Like he's got the bark shield that he can throw up there. Like he's an unstoppable force that is not even eligible for use.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. 30 seconds on the clock for why Groot is better in Volume 2. 3, 2, 1, go.
Way cuter in my movie, first of all. And also, it's not really fair to compare and say your Groot's used better. Like Groot in 1 is better than in 2 because it's been confirmed by James Gunn that is not the same Groot in Volume 2 as it is in Volume 1. So it seems
15.
like your point's kind of moot. Yeah, okay, like he's better in 1, but that's not the same character that we're getting here, as much as they're similar. So family, sure, we can go with that, but that's about it. So I'm pretty sure that's all I need to say. It's not the same character.
What I will say is, if you have to tell us after the movie's already been released that they're not the real thing, then it's not canon. Okay, it's bullshit. You have 3 hours to tell a story in a movie. Get it in there when you can.
I don't know what to tell you.
Erroneous.
I'm just using the facts. That's all this is about. I want everybody to remember that I stuck to the facts.
It's a bullshit fact. It's a bullshit fact. All right, so 60 seconds on the clock as to why Volume 2 showcased a certain character. May I guess?
I was going to ask if you want to guess, yeah.
It's you're a big Rocket fan. I'm inclined to go Rocket.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, that's okay. Beautiful. 60 seconds on the clock starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
So first off, there's a lot of like funny like moments with Rocket. I mean, you get the winking, like where he's mixing it up, like he's like trying to hide the wink and he's screwing that up. He doesn't know what the hell a trash panda is. And then, of course, for me, one of my favorite things with him is one of my favorite Rocket moments ever is his whole bit with Taserface. Like, you know, would be a really kick-ass name. And I absolutely love that whole bit. It's one of my favorite moments in the MCU period. But on top of all that, too, we're in Guardians 3, we're going to see more growth with Rocket. I mean, as I was rewatching the second one, is like this only makes sense to do this in Guardians 3 because he goes through more growth than anybody in the second Guardians movie. He's probably the most dynamic character there is. Peter Quill goes through a ton of stuff, but with Rocket, in seeing Yondu and learning about himself, like how he is mentally, internally, how he handles things, how he protects himself, it was wild to really experience that again because it'd been a while since we rewatched this.
All right.
30 seconds on the clock for you, sir. 3, 2, 1, begin.
Yeah, Rocket was a lovable dick in the Volume 1. He's a straight up just unlikable douchebag in Volume 2 for the most part of it, at least as far as the inner workings of the team is concerned. He has, causes the whole problem with the sovereign nation there by stealing the batteries and then trying to take control of Peter Quill's ship there. All this stuff, all this internal split ups happen because of him. That's why they split up. Actually, to begin with, they wanted to get away from Rocket and go to Ego.
How dare you accuse him of being the one to steal the control of the ship? How dare you?
That's facts. That's facts right there.
Oh, wow. We aren't watching the same movie. This whole wedding is horseshit. I mean, the whole court's out of order. Excuse me.
It is. It's salmon. Yeah.
Said it like 3 times.
Yeah. Okay, so now next question here: which movie has a better soundtrack, both in the movie or in the CD playlist?
Yeah, yeah. I may I to make a motion to just do the no rebuttal on this.
Yeah. That
Okay.
sounds good.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Go ahead and start the
let
clock
me
on me.
get the clock up for you here. 60 seconds on the clock for you. Starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
These are both kick-ass sequels. This is a really tough one for me to argue. That's why I really didn't think we should have a counter. Of course, Wes, keep your 30 seconds if you want. At the end of it all, I only need the minute. To me, you have two songs that really stand out. Obviously, at the end of the movie, to "Surrender" by Cheap Trick. Was it "Surrender" by Cheap Trick? But either way, the whole bit at the end where Kraglin's learning his power. But to me, come a little bit closer. Jay and the Americans. That was when Yondu was using his fin. That was
30
perfect.
seconds.
And that was and to me, that is the best use of a song, I think, in either of the two movies. And that is the biggest strength for me in this argument. Of course, Brandy was a very interesting use as well. Loved that one. But I think the highest high when it came to the music in these two
15
movies
seconds.
belonged to Come a Little Bit Closer in the Yondu Finn moment. Because one of my favorite moments in between the two movies. That's it. Oh wow!
All right, under time.
I didn't think I was going to get the minute.
No, you get to 50 seconds. I just wanted to mark the end of the
Ah.
conversation there. You know.
All right, you have a full 90 seconds, so let me know when you are done. If it's not right at
Oh
90
no,
seconds.
I'll use the 60 seconds here.
Okay, cool. All right, 60 seconds on the clock, sir. 3, 2, 1, go.
The Guardians of the Galaxy Awesome Mix Volume 1 topped the Billboard top soundtrack chart for 11 consecutive weeks and 16 weeks in total. So it sold 1.75 million copies in the US alone. It's been certified platinum. The album was the US's second best-selling soundtrack album of 2014, behind only Disney's Frozen. So that's in good company right there. "Hooked on the Feeling," I think, is one of the key songs that come away with the, when you think about the Awesome Mix. Of course, that's early on in the movie there, but you also get "Fool Around and Fell in Love" with a nice little dancing scene when he's trying to make the moves on Gamora. You get "Come and Get Your Love Again." The Pina Colada song "Escape." I think that's great. A lot of people think that's why can't I'm blank. Jimmy Buffett song. It's not. It's Rupert Holmes. And then again, "Ain't No Mountain High Enough." I mean, I traditionally remember the Titans with that, but that's a great song as well.
That was that research you put in. I didn't even think of that. Didn't even cross my mind. There's not many
I
times.
knew this was like a super popular soundtrack. It was like, again, remember the Titans, Forrest Gump. I feel like it was on that type of level.
This there's not many times I'll say this, but that was a point where, as much as I think that's one that's strength for you, you owned me on that one. Well done, sir.
Oh, I missed this too here. It was at the top of the Billboard charts, just not even for soundtracks. It was the first soundtrack album consisting entirely of previously released songs to top the chart. Pretty interesting.
That is impressive. For my interest. That's wow.
Good stuff there. Okay, so we'll get on to our next question here, which is who had the best performance by a side character? So interesting here. And then kind of same rules apply as we did about showcasing the members of the Guardian there. So we'll each retort to each other's decision based on that person. It doesn't have to be the same one.
Agreed. All right. You lead us off on this one then, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, it's the Collector for me, played by Benicio del Toro. Twofold things. I think the Collector is a very interesting character in his own right. And then you get a monster actor to play him as well. Benicio del Toro, very enigmatic and kind of like, you don't really know a whole lot. He's always a kind of a weird character. I feel like you don't know a whole lot about him as a person. He's like someone who really sinks into those roles. And he does so when he's playing the Collector. But again, I don't know how you waste an A-list actor on such a small and ultimately inconsequential role in the greater MCU plot, but he's great in this. He's menacing, he's intriguing, he's shady, but he's charismatic, and he's a bit of an enigma too. So, which makes me want more of him. We do get a little bit of more of him, but not enough, in my opinion. I'd also like to take a quick moment to shout out John C. Reilly as Corpseman Day, who deserves an honorable mention here as well, because he offers some good comedic relief.
Nicely done. Yeah, that I didn't think you were gonna go that route. That's
Oh yeah. You get some good choices for because again, I didn't want to go with anyone in the Guardians because that's like, it kind of goes into what's a side character, right? There, all the Guardians are featured in the movie.
Yep, and yours. And
Oh, here
yours.
we go. This is the difference, two sides of a same coin here, right?
Mm-hmm.
30 seconds on the clock. Why the Collector is bad. In 3, 2, 1, go.
I don't think. I mean, I love the Collector. Everything about him is like Wes put that very well. I just think when I start digging into my character, it was a little better. And I'm actually going to start right now because that's all this my time. So what the hell?
Roll right.
As much, I still want those 30 seconds that I have.
Oh yeah, you got it.
So Mantis obviously is great in this too. She's a side character. Taserface is pretty funny in this, or at least a punching bag. But cute Groot, Mini Groot is absolutely a side character in this. As Wes pointed out, he's very much underutilized here. But when he is used, he is awesome. He has his struggles with the fin, where he picks up on the underwear, the desk, the cyborg eye, the severed foot. That's a whole thing. Also that spawns from it all too. He hates hats because it makes him think people have weird shaped heads, and then he just finds that they have a hat, which is a really important conversation to have at that moment. We also have Groot, where after he's getting bullied and they're finally breaking out of the Ravager's prison, he goes and takes out Cheddar Bob
30
too,
seconds.
Which we know he can do it on his own, but it was impressive to see somebody else do it. And then what was it? And then with the bomb situation too, like back-to-back times, like he's had it all explained to him back-to-back times, explaining it wrong. Of course, his like cuter
15.
voice that he has now. He's like, "I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot." No. So he's great. And obviously he sets the tone at the very beginning of the movie too. So awesome use of Baby Groot in developing a new character. Anyways, all right. You have
90 seconds. That was good. That was a good response. That's good.
Thank you very much. Because it's hard to argue against what you were saying. So,
I'm gonna show you how it's done, Daddy.
Kill him with positivity. Kill him with kindness. That's what it is. Jeez.
Yeah.
What the fuck? 3, 2, 1, go.
Again, this is complete horseshit. He's a guardian of the galaxy. He's a part of the team. You're gonna say that he's a side character here. You're not gonna go with Sylvester Stallone. You're not gonna go with Kraglin or your guy Taserface. This is a kangaroo court. I'm yelling objection.
Okay. All
right. Yeah, that's safe. Yeah.
What, a part of team? What team?
Yeah. Left side, strong side. Attitude reflect leadership. Good stuff. We should probably do a rewatch of that. Maybe for my birthday, I'll do Remember the Titans. That'll be a good one.
Nice.
But we're on to our next question here. Which movie has the better villain, the better feature of a villain?
This is an interesting conversation. I think this is the point where I think people. Let's let the people decide based on the facts I present.
All right. Well, yeah, we got 60 seconds on the clock. We're starting with volume 2 here. Starting in 3, 2, 1.
So Ego, of course, is the main villain at the center of all things. There must be other people thrown in the mix. And he's a particularly twisted type of villain, too. He's a dad who doesn't have unconditional love. But then at the same time, for Peter Quill, who's at the center of it all, he gets all the love because he has what his dad wants. So it's a very odd, uncomfortable situation. And on top of all that, too, the man killed his lover. Like he says it, I loved her so much. And because I loved her so much, I wasn't going to be able to control myself. So I had to go and kill her. I mean, he didn't just kill her, too. He gave her a friggin' tumor. It'd be one thing if he just, just shot her or whatever, and then or snapped his fingers like Thanos, and then that's it. No, he made it a long, painful process for her. So yeah, I mean, and then so we have family at the center of all this, and that is the tone setter for it too. Of course, you have it with Nebula on the side, and then Yondu kind of comes in as the dad later on. So it really brings it all the family together really well. But monster. Sorry, that may have been a little bit of a line, but
we got a little bit of a false start there. We're good. We're good on it. All right, 30 seconds on the clock.
3,
Why
2,
Ego sucks.
1, go.
Yeah, Ego sucks. Okay, there's everything is just so lazy about an egotistical father and his son trying to break the cycle of abuse, and the son trying to pay for the sins of his father, and trying to go on in the cat in the cradle and the silver spoon, right? It's all about the little man on the moon, or I mean, it's talked about in that song there. He's the little man on the moon. But yeah, big problem with that. I'm not here for that. I thought that was a big waste of time. I thought that's the movie comes to a screeching halt when they go to his planet and they figure everything out about it. I think it was the worst thing of this movie.
Yeah, sorry I didn't give you the time updates on that one.
No, it's cool. It's all good. All good in the hood. My argument was still strong anyway, and in fact, it's going to get even better.
Oh, 3, 2, 1, go.
Because I got a bit of a two-pronged answer, because admittedly, I don't think Ronan is a great villain in the greater MCU storyline. But like I said, he's better than this egotistical father who is trying to break the cycle trope. I'm not here for that. Ronan is more of a replacement level villain. Maybe your Ben Zobrist, maybe your Brock Holt of villains here. But he does hit all the notes that you would expect. It just doesn't blow you away in any sort of way there. But what he does do is further the MCU storyline, which is fantastic here, which I really like. So I'm here for that, Ronan, by working with Thanos, who could ultimately be the choice here as the best villain, because we spend some time with Thanos, and he is the one who is intimidating the villain. He's the villain of the villain, which makes him the ultimate villain. We get Josh Brolin, Thanos, and Ronan in my movie. That's all I need. Slam dunk, take it home, alley-oop.
Stinky.
Oops. So sorry, I pressed the wrong button.
Yeah.
They're right near each other.
Yeah, it is. All right, 30 seconds on the clock for your retort, Nick. Starts in 3, 2, 1.
Look, I like Ronan. He's cool. I like his look and the hammer that he's got and everything and his swagger. But at the same time, like he's like when we talk about, Marvel villains or villains in general, where you want to have them be more dynamic and have more than just, I want to destroy everything. Like he is that. That's exactly what he is. Do I still like him? Sure. But you can't argue that he's not more dynamic than Ego and doesn't bring more to the table and doesn't things aren't more twisted. I mean, the dude killed thousands of his own children and probably his spouses too, because he's a piece of shit. So, I mean, okay.
All right, 60 seconds on the clock. No. We're going over to the final question here.
Yeah, you got 60 seconds, so you're up on this one. Okay.
So, which movie does a better job of furthering the greater MCU storyline, which I was actually getting to in my original response here? It kind of bleeds over a little bit, which works out perfectly.
Oh, look at that. It's almost like you had it planned all along. All right, 60 seconds for you, sir. 3, 2, 1, go.
Again, as I was just talking about with Thanos and why Volume 1 has the better villains, Volume 1 shows off Thanos for an extended period of time for the first time. We get him saying, I'll do it myself at the end of the Avengers stinger there. But we get a good time to kind of see who Thanos is. Not only that, we spend time with the daughters of Thanos to get to know who he is through them, through Thanos as well. So, you get a lot of information that's ready to brew and boil in the stew there, in the cosmic gumbo, as we're getting ready for Infinity War and Endgame. Not only that, but it also paved the way for C and D list characters to be a success if done the correct way, because no one expected anything from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. So not only did this further the plot, but this gave you one of the best singular snapshots of our MCU movies there. Again, paving the way for future movies like Ant-Man, Shang-Chi, so on and so forth.
Nicely done.
30 seconds for your retort. Starts in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, there's no question that this furthers along the MCU storyline. I guess my only thing is, if that is such a big thing that is going to get hammered on in the argument, is it more about the movie or is this about the larger MCU story? Because I thought we were talking about which movie is a better movie than the other. So I'm just curious how people end up feeling about that going forward. But again, I have things to add when it comes to this question. It is part of the debate. So I'll move on to that shortly and concede the rest of that time.
That's a bit of a cheap shot there, a bit of a low blow, but we'll let it slide. 60 seconds on the clock. Why Volume 2 does a better job of furthering the greater MCU storyline. Starts in 3, 2, 1.
So Wes talked about relationships, but one thing that's important, one of the most important relationships that we see when we talk about Infinity War and Endgame is the Star-Lord Gamora relationship. And as much as we learn stuff about Thanos and how he treated his daughters, those two, how they become so much closer, even at the end of this movie, is crucial to what happens on later on with these characters. Also, in the mix of things too, you talk about the Stinger. We also get Stan Lee. We see a couple appearances of him talking with the Watchers in Guardians 2 as well. So again, connecting everything. He mentions one of the I forget, it was when he was the FedEx employee. I forget which Tony Stark movie that was. It might have even been Captain America: Civil War. But anyways, also we get mention of Adam Warlock in this as well, with the Sovereign, who we're going to be seeing later on, and it should be a pivotal part or a crucial piece to the larger MCU moving forward.
All right here. So 30 seconds. We'll wrap this up here with my retort whenever you're ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
Thanos, man, you can spout out Stan Lee's dead corpse. You can spout out Adam Warlock. Yeah, I said it, Nick. Yeah, I did. You can spout out Adam Warlock and some relationship that ends up it's just going to die anyway and then get brought back to life, and Gamora and Star-Lord. But I brought you Thanos in Volume 1 there. That's what you get. Is there any more than that? Of the greatest theatrical storyline in cinema history. He's the bad guy.
Oh, I thought you were done. Sorry.
I know. I thought I was done, but that's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, that does it here. So again, maybe I'll remember. I'll try to remember. I'll be good about it. Putting up a poll. Find us on Twitter at CMM_podcast about who did a better debate of this original versus sequel debate. Was it me with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 or Nick with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2? Let us know. Rate, review, subscribe, and send us notes. Let us know everything.
Yes. Yeah, please. That was there's a lot with Guardians when you rewatch it that but with the second one that it's easy because I always think of the first one, but yeah, anyways, let the people decide.
A lot of great things. I got a chance to rewatch both of these, which I don't always have time to do ahead of these original versus sequel debates, but now that I'm a little bit more of a homebody, I have those opportunities. Some really great standalone scenes in Volume 2 there with the rocket in the forest with all the bombs and the Ravagers. Amazing stuff there. Obviously, the opening scene where they're fighting in space and you have Baby Groot dancing and stuff. So they do a really good job of a lot of those set pieces.
Yeah, agreed. They're both awesome movies, and I cannot wait for this next one.
All right, let's change gears here.
It's morphin' time!